Alrighty, let's see here if I can figure out how to do this. Alrighty, you guys, so I just wanted to hop on very quickly and show you a quick tutorial about how I make my butter bites. The last few weeks I've been trying to increase my calories because one of my main problems with carnivore diet overall has just been being able to lose weight. It's been really hard for me. So I figured I would just give you guys kind of an overview of how I like to make my butter bites. Dr. Barry's wife, Nisha, made one that incorporated bacon, which is pretty good, but I personally love salts. Hi, I have two doggies right here for me. I like mine with salts. I personally love truffle salt. I've been on a truffle salt kick for years now. I can't get enough of it. It's amazing. And so I just figured I'd hop on and show you guys what I like to do. I have been trying to increase to 80-20 for my fats. Just females need a lot more fats in general anyway. And just seeing how it makes me feel, just because, well, I just want to see how it makes me feel for a little while. So, but after hearing about these butter bites, I was sold. They taste like little bits of toffee, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm sure Lena and Molly will help you enjoy it too. Are you going to like a butter bite? You like butter bites? All right, hi. This time I'm using Tillamook butter, which I have been using Kirkland butter. I have used Kerrygold butter. I love them both. I've used Vital Farms. I really like, we have a Strauss Farms here, which is like super creamy, and it's got the same fat content as this Tillamook one has. It's at like 83%. So I figure I'm gonna try this one out today. I haven't tried this one before, so it's kind of an adventure for all of us. So, but I haven't tried one that I don't like. Well, actually this one is 81%. So the local brand has more fat in it, but I am sure I'm going to enjoy this just as much. Basically, what you're going to do is you're gonna take, I take 2 sticks of butter, about a cup. I've got these little Bear butter trays that I'm gonna end up using. They're just like little tiny gummy bears, basically. But 1 stick generally fills 1 of those, and I can't fit very much in my refrigerator, so this is the max that I will make per batch is 2 sticks. Otherwise, I just have too much, unless I make the hearts, which I have a heart mold that has much more space in the molds. But I use this for the bacon ones, and you know, the bacon one just wasn't my jam, so. All right, I'm going to turn this down to probably a 3 or 4. I have an electric stove, so it's more like a medium low. I just want this to melt down really quickly, and it might take a little while, so I may end up speeding this part up for you. If you've made butter bites, I'd like to hear how you like yours. That. And I save all of my butter wrappers because I use them for greasing pans for whenever I bake things. So I've got my handy dandy silicone spatula, which a lot of people don't like that, but I'm not that picky. I love my silicone spatulas. They work great, especially when you're doing these butter bites. You just need a little bit of something to kind of get that butter moving around. And we just want that to melt down. Turned up the heat just a little bit closer to medium, just so that I can get it all started. Right, and we're still working on this thing melting down a little bit, but you will notice that there are these like grainy particles as your butter melts down, as it starts to separate. And those you want. Don't worry about those. You need those in there. Those are the part that will give you that delicious golden dark brown bit at the very end. Oh my gosh, delicious. So don't worry about them. Just let that butter keep melting until it's all the way melted down. And I like to keep agitating mine just a little bit. All right, so as these go, they are going to just start getting a little bit more foamy as everything starts to melt down a little bit. These still have just a little bit of a ways to go until the sticks are completely melted, but they're almost there. And the top part is gonna start getting a little bit frothy and foamy, and that you want. Let it get foamy. Let it foam up, let it get delicious and bubbly on top. I'm even gonna heat it up just a little bit more so that I can kind of help kickstart that process a little bit. So now I'm at about a 6 on here. That way I can just get that butter really nice and melted and bubbly and foamy and start getting those bottom bits, that little separation bit, all browned up. And as it starts getting hotter, after a little while, you will end up needing to turn the stove down. I like to continuously stir mine. Some people don't, but I tend to prefer doing this because you never know when butter will burn. It's one of those things. It's like milk that just all of a sudden, 1 second it's fine, the next second the bottom is scalding. So we don't want that. We've got dairy. I want to make sure it's well kept and taken care of because it's going right back into my body. So, all right, so now we're starting to get a few little bubbles on there. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. That way it's not too hot. Starting to get a little bit bubbly and separating, and some of it is starting to rise to the top, and some of it is starting to settle down at the bottom in these like thick clumpy bits. Hear that little sizzling sound? I need to turn it down just a little bit more because I really do not want to burn myself. I am a habitual burner. I burn myself all the time with bacon, with butter, any type of grease, you name it. If it's any type of bubbling, I'm probably going to burn myself. So turn it down just a little bit. Kind of at this point, you don't really want to stop stirring. Okay, so for me, this is the time that I like to turn off my stove, because this is where it starts getting these little tiny brown swirls in the foam. And because it is so foamy, you can't really see the bottom. So the reason why I turn off the heat at this point is so that I don't burn anything by accident. I just keep stirring it. That way I can make sure it still browns a little bit more, but that I'm not burning those little bits, because you don't want you don't want burnt bits. We want browned bits. So let's just keep going. At this point, I can see all that dark brown bits right there, kind of towards the bottom. And that's what we want. It's nice and dark, kind of golden, but very dark. So now I remove it from the heat. See how dark that is? Now, if you keep stirring it, the pan is still very hot, so it's going to keep browning. So in order to prevent it from potentially burning, what you're going to do is transfer it into a Pyrex or pouring dish of some sort. And see, these bubbles will start going down after a little while. So, got one of these. I'm gonna pour this right into here. And that's it. So I'm just gonna get the last little bits, because I don't like to waste any little tiny bit of butter that I do not have to. So tiny little drops down in here at the bottom. I like using a light colored pan, that way I can see when my butter is browning. And there you go. That's it, guys. Alrighty, y'all. So I've got those cute little butter bites, and I'm whisking the butter. That way I get some of those like little sediment parts that are like dropping down to the bottom. Make sure to get some of those in there. Now, 2 sticks of butter is 2 of these. So if you have more room in your freezer, go for it, make more, but this is just where I like to start. And I start pouring. So give you guys a better angle. Now, they can get a little bit drippy, so just take your time. A little too much in one, you just push it on into the next one. Now, you get all those little goodie bits. I pour those into the ones that maybe weren't filled up quite as much or could use a couple extra drops of whatever in there. That little brown bit is to die for, so get those in there. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt on here, and then I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator after I find a spot, and then we just wait. It's a waiting game. I do mine in the refrigerator first, and then I switch them over to the freezer, just because I don't like putting a lot of hot things into my freezer directly. So I put them over into my refrigerator until they kind of harden, and then I switch them over to the freezer until they harden fully, and then I pop them out and separate them into little baggies, and I'll show you that process here in just a little bit. Oh, and don't forget, guys, you need your truffle salt. Tiny little bit. I actually found truffle salt at Trader Joe's. Or I think this one I found at Costco, so go for it. And that's it. And then we've got little bears. Here they are, going right into the refrigerator. So, got some pate I made myself. Yogurt, haven't opened yet, but I love Greek yogurt. Some snack and bacon, some extra butter, sour cream, a lime. Oh my God, the dreaded vegetable. This is some homemade bone broth. I made some pickled onions, homemade, Grey Poupon because it's delicious. Little duck fat back here. Bunch of eggs, so that's what we got for you guys right now. All right. Alrighty, y'all, so now it's just a waiting game. So we wait. Now we just wait until all the butter bites are done and delicious and ready to eat. So, I'll show you what they look like in a little bit. Alrighty, y'all, we are all done. So these are done and out of the freezer and they're ready to go. So all you have to do is take each little guy and pop them straight out of there. See how dark they are on one side? And then I just pop them into a little baggie and that's it. Really as easy as that. I put a whole bunch of them on hand. I keep them for maybe 2 or 3 days max because I eat them so quickly. And when I have my fats up so high, I kind of have to continue to eat kind of all day long in order to do that because I get full really fast with a lot of fat. So, but they taste delicious. They're nice and salty. That little brown part is like delicious. Super easy to make. I think in total it probably took me an hour. That's including the freezing time. The cooking itself probably took me 15 minutes just because I like to get it nice and golden, but like, look how dark that is. It looks like chocolate and they taste like toffee. So good. And each one of these trays, like a half a stick of butter will last me about 2 days. So they're pretty good. And that's it. Oh, I put a sweater on because it's cold in here. We're in Tucson and today it was very windy and rainy and cold. We had some sort of wind advisory, like 60 to 80 mile an hour winds today here in town, which is unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen winds like that. It's snowing and raining and everything in between right now. So, and we're in the desert, so it's kind of a fluke, but later on, my son has a friend coming over. We're gonna hang out. They're going to eat pizza and play Dungeons and Dragons because they're a bunch of goofy little kids. And I already ate my meal of the day, so I will be chilling like a villain. And maybe I'll snack on a couple of these guys because yum. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and I hope you have a great rest of your day and I hope that you enjoy making these. If you have any questions, find me on Twitter or Instagram at Coffee Meets Carnivore and I'll see you in the next one.